Now 44 at O'Hare. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, so last night's Politburo Executive Committee meeting, according to the minutes, everyone tried to get Elizabeth Warren to finally fess up to the fact that she's going to increase taxes on middle-income Americans to pay for Medicare for all. You just can't get her to do it.
You have not specified how you're going to pay for the most expensive plan, Medicare for all. Will you raise taxes on the middle class to pay for it, yes or no?
So I have made clear what my principles are here, and that is costs will go up for the wealthy and for big corporations, and for hardworking middle-class families, costs will go down.
A yes or no question that didn't get a yes or no answer. Look, this is why people here in the Midwest are so frustrated with Washington in general and Capitol Hill in particular. Your signature, Senator, is to have a plan for everything except this.
Yeah,
Mayor Pete stuck it to her.
So just so you understand her position, she's going to increase taxes on middle-income families,
Right.
and your costs are going to go down. For discussion of that magical thinking and so much other magical economic thinking on display last night, we're pleased to be joined again by Steve Moore, economist and Wall Street Journal columnist, author of the book Trumponomics: Inside the America First Plan to Revive Our Economy. Steve, thanks for being with us.
Hi, guys. Good morning. Well, I have to confess I did not watch much of the debate last because I was watching that Washington Nationals do something the Cubs didn't do, which was beat the Cubs to go to.
Oh, you're breaking up.
Yeah. Yes, congratulations
Yes,
to your Washington Reagans on their pennant. Congratulations, yes. Steve, are you there? Hello,
Hey,
Steve.
The Cardinals.
Okay. Steve, responding to Elizabeth Warren and the whole matter, why is Bernie Sanders so willing to say, hey, look, we're going to increase taxes on people making more than 29 grand. Everybody making more than 20 grand is going to see their taxes go up. But our big government plan is going to actually reduce the cost, and that's how it's going to work. Why can't his socialist cohort, Elizabeth Warren, just cop to that?
So at least Bernie, honest. You know, we're going to have a government health system, and everybody. It's going to be wonderful. Now that part isn't honest. One of the big structural.
Steve, we're losing you. You're breaking up wherever you're at. Let's effort to try to get Steve in a better location so we can hear him. One of the other things, though, too, is in addition to Elizabeth Warren on that point, distinguishing from Bernie and then those who actually don't subscribe to her plan to take the private health insurance from 150 million Americans away. Did you catch this question? How would you convince GM to bring production back to the United States? You know, they were in Ohio.
Right.
And you know what the response was from all of them? If I could just summarize it rather than having to listen to them. Make unions stronger and increase the mandated wages. Right? Mandate higher wages and make unions stronger. This against the backdrop of a UAW strike.
Right.
What is not getting through? I mean, and we're supposed to treat these people as serious. Did you also catch this from Joe Biden? I think it's better if I read it than try to hear it from Joe, just because it's that convoluted. So I will try to enunciate in such a way that you understand exactly what he said. This is verbatim quote. Why should someone who's clipping coupons in the stock market may, in fact, pay a lower tax rate than someone who is, in fact, like I said, a school teacher and a fireman? It's ridiculous. Why should someone who's clipping coupons in the stock market? I mean, he talks about bonds like you're clipping coupons from the Sunday Circular. Why should they pay a lower tax rate than someone who is, in fact, like I said, a school teacher and a fireman? It's ridiculous. That was his defense of almost proposing to double the capital gains tax. And that's one of your front runners.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Nothing speaks louder about an auto dealer than a happy customer. And at Joe Cotton Ford, they have many.
It's like my family. I never go anywhere else than Joe Cotton Ford. If I have to buy a car, I always go first Joe Cotton Ford. And they have best service ever, and the best price, and the best models.
My overall experience is great. It's easy to buy, it's easy to go through service, and overall, it's just a great experience.
More reasons why folks keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. It's Truck Month at Joe Cotton Ford. Get a great deal on an F-150, the best-selling truck for 42 straight years. Joe Cotton Ford has over 40 F-150s to choose from, with up to $15,000 off XLT crew cabs. All built Ford proud, built Ford tough. All incentives applied. Stock number T9205. Celebrate Truck Month at Joe Cotton Ford, Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream, or at joecottonford.com. joecottonford.com.
My name is David Hochberg. If you'd like to pay off debt, call Team Hochberg now about a cash-out refinance. During May, Team Hochberg helped listeners access $953,000 to pay off credit cards, student loans, car loans, medical bills, collections, and IRS tax liens, which saved them close to $19,000 a month. Since January, Team Hochberg has saved listeners over $74,000 a month, which is an annualized savings of over $888,000. What are you waiting for? Call Team Hochberg now to see if we can help you pay off debt and substantially reduce your monthly payments with a cash-out refinance. Think of all the things you could do with an extra $500, $1,000, or $1,500 a month that you'd be saving. Call Team Hochberg now at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1124061.
AM 560. The Answer.
Dan and Amy, all right, I think we've successfully
Hooked up
re-engaged with Steve Moore here. Steve, you there?
Hi, guys. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's
There
better.
we
Okay,
go.
all right.
Okay, good.
All right, let's pick up this conversation where I left it, which is start with a question. One of the questions, since you didn't watch much of it, how would you convince GM to bring production back to the United States? And the response from every one of the candidates was some version of make unions stronger and mandate higher wages, like, increasing the minimum wage. So apparently the current GM strike is lost on the socialists.
Yeah. And we know that the jobs are leaving the very places where the unions are the strongest, in states like Illinois, states like in many of the Midwestern states, where the auto jobs have gone to places that aren't unionized, in Alabama, in Texas, and North Carolina, and so on. And so, the idea is to create more jobs by creating more unions. That doesn't work too well. All the jobs in the states that are not unionized. I wanted to go back to this issue you asked me about earlier, Dan, about Medicare for All.
Yeah.
I just want to explain to people why it doesn't work. Medicare's costs are lower because they use price controls. And what happens is any doctor or nurse or hospital administrator who's listening to the show will confirm what I'm saying. So private insurance has to pick up the costs of what Medicare and Medicaid don't pay. What happens is if you go to Medicare for everyone, it's very simple. Who's going to subsidize the Medicare, right? So the costs won't go down for everyone. They will go up for everyone, especially who's foreseen if you don't have a private insurance market that's subsidizing Medicare. Does that make sense?
Well, that's right. Yeah, of course, it makes sense. And this is what people are getting at. Even Joe Biden was getting at when he's challenging Elizabeth Warren on how she's going to underwrite this all on just a 2 cents in every dollar over 50 million wealth tax. Forget the constitutionality. It doesn't come close to the numbers that are required. Bernie's more honest, but even his is static analysis and rosy thinking about how the government actually does when it's required to control costs through efficiencies and not through the force of law.
Well, that's exactly right. And look, there's a much bigger problem with Medicare for All than this. It's ladies and gentlemen, when the United States has the best health care delivery system in the world, we have the best quality of care. We have the best cures if you have an accident or you get a disease. Kings and queens from princes from other countries, they come to the United States for care. And to turn our healthcare industry, which is arguably one of our most important industries, over to the government is a recipe for complete healthcare disaster. And Amy, women seem to fall for that idea. I mean, how do we convince people that the healthcare system over the government is going to destroy the quality of care?
Yeah.
Can you repeat?
How do you convince women that government takeover of healthcare will destroy the quality of care?
I don't know. I know that it will. Go to Iceland and break your arm and you'll find out. Or live in a foreign country. I mean, that's when I lived in Spain. There was government-run healthcare, and it was horrible. You know what they did for instead of an anesthesiologist, Stephen Moore? They took me to a bar, gave me 3 shots of whiskey, then took me back, and I'm not kidding, and performed a procedure on me.
Yeah, well, that's all right. It's a local anesthetic. It's literally local.
I'm not kidding you. Yeah. That's what they did.
So, Steve, there's your answer. Amy suggests that we take all the women who lean Democrat and send them to a foreign country.
Well, it's funny. Last night I actually had to give a speech. I was in Florida, and I was talking about freedom versus socialism, and it was interesting. These 2 or 3 women who had come to the United States from Eastern Europe, they were so mystified. They came up to me like, "How can any American be for socialism? We came from communism, socialism. We came here to get away from that system, and now half of Americans are enamored with moving to the Polish system of healthcare, or the Russian system of everybody's going to have a job and all that kind of thing." And so, ladies and gentlemen, ask your friends who have come from communist countries, whether it's Eastern Europe or whether it's Cuba, how it worked. was it a good deal for the middle class? And they'll say, hell no.
I wanted to get you to weigh in on one other item. This is from Joe Biden, since he's one of the other frontrunners. What he's proposed is to jack up the capital gains tax and double it effectively. And his explanation for that last night, this is a direct quote. See if you can follow it. Why should someone who's clipping coupons in the stock market may in fact pay a lower rate than someone who's in fact is, like I said, a school teacher and a fireman? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I heard you talking about that a little earlier, and it infuriates me because a couple things. First of all, I've done probably more research on the capital gains tax than just about anybody in America. Every time we have raised are you guys ready for this? Every time we have raised the capital gains tax, the amount of tax revenues to the government has gone down. Every time we cut capital gains tax, the amount of revenue went up. The best example was under Bill Clinton. In 1998, we got Clinton to sign a bill that cut the capital gains tax, and we had a massive surge in revenue because people actually started paying the capital gains tax. Now, look, the question of why capital gains tax is lower than the other taxes is because Joe Biden, I hope he knows this, and he's just fabricating the evidence. Capital gains tax is a double tax.
Right.
The company pays the tax when they earn it, and then you pay the tax after they pay the tax on their earnings again. So if you go to 30-40% capital gains tax, you're going to destroy the investment opportunities in this country. It'll hurt the stock market. It will not raise revenue. I'm amazed that the Democrats keep going back to this idea. John F. Kennedy, for goodness sakes, cut the capital gains tax. Bill Clinton cut the capital gains tax. And I've said it again and again and again, if they were Democrats, if they were not alive, but if they were running for president, there's no way they could run under the Democratic ticket. All I heard last night, and I only heard a little bit of it, was redistribute income, soak the rich, give people stuff for free. That is not a recipe for economic growth.
He is Steve Moore, economist, Wall Street Journal columnist, author of Trumponomics, Inside the America First Plan to Revive Our Economy. Steve, thanks for joining us.
Okay, Dan and Amy, see you soon. Bye.
Take care.
And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
When John Mariotti started Woodland Windows and Doors in 1969, he knew that relationships were important. He knew that he needed to look out for his customers' best interests. Today, Woodland is run by the second and third generation of Mariottis, who continue to build great relationships and to service their customers. When it's time to